It's every manager's dream, I suppose, to build a team by coaching young players of 15 to 17. That's why I started the youth scheme. Sir Matt Busby was a man who always wanted to shape the future and encourage youth talent. EMAD, we have the class of 2022 playing on Wednesday night. Are you looking forward to it? Because I'm pumped for it.
Adam, my man, I am looking forward to it. This class of 2022 has an opportunity to write their names up there with some of the greats that we've had in this great club of ours at Manchester United. You got the class of '92. Obviously, everyone knows about that and where they came from and what they went on to achieve. And I'm sure we'll touch on a few other squads and eras where we pretty much dominated this competition.
In the 50s, mate, we won it actually 5 times with players like Bobby Charlton, who went on to win the Youth Cup 3 times, Eddie Coleman, the great Duncan Edwards, Billy Whelan, David Pegg, Albert Scahian, Wilf McGuinness, Shea Brennan. And to think these guys were all part of Munich as well. And, we've had some unbelievable teams.
5 consecutive times, wasn't it? 5 in a row.
5 consecutive times, yeah.
Amazing achievement.
It is. It's crazy. And then we went on to the 60s. You got players like, just some average kid named George Best.
Bang average, wasn't he?
Yeah. Crazy. David Sadler, John Aston, Jimmy Rimmer. And these are all players that, these were boys that became men. And they all went on to win the 68 European Cup. And, it's crazy to think how many players our club has produced at youth level. And it just blows me away. And then you get players like in the 80s, like Norman Whiteside, Clayton Blackmore, Mark Hughes. That, those boys were all in cup teams through the 70s and 80s. And then
what people need to remember as well, and this is more of a learning thing for the younger generation, because you tend to find that a lot of these younger fans don't know anything about the history of our Manchester United, and the youth cup and the academy, and bringing players through the youth system, making their debuts. This is one of the big foundations of what's built Manchester United as a club. Our success doesn't just come from winning the Premier League and the Champions League. It starts from the youth, and you look back at all those names you mentioned there. Bobby Charlton, who I know we hold him in such high regard at Manchester United, but probably doesn't get the credit he deserves in world football as much. He needs to be recognised for what he's been. He's, like you mentioned earlier before we started recording, he's been through everything at the club. And his name should be up there a lot more and put out there a lot more, especially for the young generation to learn who he was and what he's done and what he's achieved at the club. And then, like you said, that average kid, George Best, our first, you can almost say our first global superstar. He was a world superstar.
Yeah, well, he certainly knew how to. So he was our first. I was going to go somewhere else with that then, but I thought no, we'll keep it PG. Without a doubt, George Best. He was a class above. We talk about the likes of Maradona, we talk about the likes of Ronaldo, and you talk to anyone that was in that era through the 60s and early 70s, and without doubt, the first name that pops into their head is George Best. My uncle was a theme for him. That was the first name he mentioned to me before I was a Manchester United supporter. And as soon as he locked George Best into my head, that was it. I was locked into the love of United. He was a party animal, but he did love football at the same time.
I would have loved to have watched him. Like, I know, we get whatever rare footage there is floating around these days, but I would have loved to watch him or seen him live in action. Absolute gun of a player.
The part that gets me the most is imagine him on the carpet that we're playing on these days.
Oh, I know. He was playing on minefields before. I think.
And it's great. Like, and that's where, like, you had Bobby Charlton coming up as a youth player. He won it in 1955, and 55, and then he came into the first side. He won it three times, three times, mate. To win something is good, but this guy went on to win it all. And and then we've got you mentioned the class of 92 who had a combined appearances of 3,500. Like, that's crazy. What a team they were, those boys. You know, they were my age, and they were the boys I wanted to be when I was a kid.
Yeah, same as me, man. I pretty much I started watching United once. You can say around the 93, 94 era, when that class of 92 was just starting to break through. And, you know, we got Ryan Giggs, who was pretty much the class of 91, more or less, but they all combined into that amazing group and provided us United fans with our most successful, era. They were a great generational group of players. You won't get players like that again. The David Beckhams, the Paul Scholes, Nicky Butt, Giggsy, as I mentioned earlier. It was just, and then you got the Neville brothers as well. Can't forget them. But we've all heard that no one wants to grow up and be a Gary Neville. But
I mean, you got to. Sorry, go. Sorry.
Yeah, these guys were the foundation. They were the core of our greatest achievements in European and in English football.
You got to look at the managers as well. So you had Sir Matt Busby looking over everything back in the 60s and 70s, and then you got Sir Alex Ferguson as well coming in. But you had the actual managers of the team like Jimmy Murphy and Eric Harrison. They're absolutely unbelievable people, unbelievable managers. The way they controlled the kids and got them up every week to play, and and Jimmy Murphy probably doesn't get enough accolades. This guy is the one that kept the club together through Munich and everything like that. I've heard there is a statue coming for Jimmy Murphy, which is fantastic, and the club history
as well.
Sorry,
long overdue.
Oh, most certainly, and this needs to be put out there that it's people like Jimmy Murphy that kept the club going, and it is what it is today because of people like him.
Correct. In the midst of that Munich air disaster, Jimmy Murphy was the one on the ground and kept the club alive. And it's because, like you said, people like him who developed our youth and relied on the youth to keep United more or less afloat and to put out a competitive side in the league and in the competitions they were in during that disastrous time for the club. It's a credit to him. And we see what those foundations that he's laid, what it's produced, and we saw the fruits of it and the success of it as the years rolled on. I want to talk about the record we have as a club in terms of, and it's been well documented over the years, and I'm not sure I'm pretty sure it's carried on to this season where a player from the academy has made a debut in the first team for the number of years and number of games. And I remember back, I think it was 2019. 2019, we were at 4,000 senior matches in succession with at least one youth graduate represented in the Reds first team. That was in 2019.
Wow, that's an incredible record, isn't it?
Yeah, 4,000 senior matches in succession where someone from the youth academy has played in the first team. I'm pretty sure that carried on to 2020 and then also this year, because we have the likes of, the Scott McTominays who come from the academy, who played last season, obviously, and this season. What can we expect, Adam, looking at this Youth Cup final?
This Youth Cup final.
Drop some names for me, man.
Well,
drop some names for me. Who are we looking for?
Well, we look. We all know Garnacho. He made his debut the other day. We got Gore. I've been watching these boys over the season, which I can't say I've watched every game, but I definitely watched them. And these kids are unbelievable. They're such good quality players. You know, they got your captain Reece Bennett as well. He drives the team from the backs. You know,
apparently he's got some great character about him, that Reece Bennett, for such a young kid.
He has. He's excellent. Yeah. So, and he doesn't mind. He doesn't mind getting in the face of a couple of players either. So, no, he's a captain. Look, I'm not sure whether these players go on to play for United, but you know, a lot of these players will definitely move on to good careers. Like now, we've got a lot of players out on loan, and you know, not everyone gets the chance to play for Manchester United in the first side. But you know, they've had a good run to the final. They've played 4 games at home out of 5. You know, they've had a 4-2 win against is it Scunthorpe? I'm not really sure of the name.
Yeah, Scunthorpe United.
Yeah. They've beaten Reading 3-1, Everton 4-1, Leicester 2-1, and Wolves 3-0. So, you know, they've had a good run. But look, United's played Forest once this year, which I did watch that game, and it was actually quite a tight game. We scored either side of half time, which was good. I think it was the 32nd minute and the 71st minute that we scored. And again, there's a striker. I always like to call them by their last name because you know that's the way the commentators say it. You had Norquette, who scored a fair few goals this season, and Mather as well. So you know we've got some up and coming strikers coming. And, you know, you'd like to, I hope some of these kids come down under in a month's time, in a couple of months' time, which would be great, you know, to recognise these kids and, you know, most certainly for me, get them to sign us a couple of things, you know.
Interestingly enough, the last Youth Cup final we reached was in 2011, and we took on Sheffield United, and we had the likes of Jesse Lingard, Paul Pogba in that side.
Yeah.
And it was funny enough to know that in that Sheffield United side, our current club captain, Harry Maguire, was a part of it.
Yeah.
And also our coach, Travis Binion, I hope I pronounced that right, was also a part of that game.
Yeah, that was right. I didn't know that. That was pretty cool.
That was our last victory in the youth FA Cup.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, yeah, it was. Yeah, well, I mean, it's funny, you know, you look back now and you see where Pogba is and you see where Jesse Lingard is, and you know you look at where's it all gone wrong for him?
Where's it all gone wrong for him in the sense of how their careers are panned out now at United? But you look at Paul Pogba; he's a World Cup winner.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Jesse Lingard, for whatever criticism we can give him about how he's been behaving himself this season, Jesse Lingard scored a FA Cup winner, top corner.
Yeah. Oh, these boys have all won trophies. Look, we claim that these boys haven't won trophies, but they have. They've won trophies, and they won them under Mourinho. They won them under Van Gaal, and a lot of our youth players, most definitely have won trophies. So again, the academy is working. It just needs to be better. It needs to be better. But then we've got the class of 2022 who look like, you know, they've sold.
They look like they're on the right path.
I think I read today or yesterday that they've sold 58,000 tickets for this game.
I think it was 48,000. Let me see.
Yeah, no, I saw a post today.
More than 48.
One of the guys that follow me, yeah. And
it wouldn't be hard. The tickets are £1.
58,000.
The tickets are £1 each.
Yeah, how good's that?
It'll be. Oh, I wish the first team sides were that cheap. It'd be great. It'd be great to see a packed Old Trafford back in the boys. You know. Yeah,
well, I know Mark's going to the game, our chairman, so he's going to the game, and Delaro, my mate, he's going, and funny enough, he was in the 92. He went to the 92 final as well, and so it'll be good for him to go and see the class of 2022. Too many twos involved. for my
I don't know.
time.
I don't know if he. I don't know if your mate would want him. Would want you giving out his age there. He's showing his age a bit, huh? 92,
That's all right.
2022.
Yeah. So yeah, no, it'll be a great game. Yeah, look, it's on the also in the Premier League table for North End is both Forest and United are both on the same points. So they're on 41 points, 17 points behind City. So City's youth is working really well at the moment in the Premier League. So yeah, so they're doing all right. And Forest have enjoyed six victories in April. So they're red hot at the moment. So that'll be a very, very good game. A game not to be missed. I'm sure it's probably going to be on MUTV as well.
Yeah, it is. I think I read that as well. I'm sure these boys will step up to the challenge and bring home a victory in this final, because they have an opportunity to put their names into our history books, alongside of all those names that we mentioned earlier. And we've seen the careers that these players have gone on to have. This is a fantastic stepping stone for the likes of Garnacho, Kobe Main, I don't know, Maynard, Daniel Gore, and the captain Reece Bennett. There's also a few other players in that side who can go on to do things in, may not be at Manchester United, but somewhere in a professional capacity, and go on to have great careers. So fingers crossed. I know I'll be watching the game. I know it's on MUTV. I'll be watching the game.
Look,
What about yourself, Adam? You're going to be tuning in, aren't you?
Oh yeah, 100%. I think it's a 4:30 a.m. kickoff here, so I'm pretty sure it's. I think it's a Thursday. Maybe it'll be here. Yeah, 4:30 a.m. I know it's a 7:30 kickoff there, so yeah, I'll definitely be tuning in for sure.
It'd be great for fans around the world to tune in, because we need to understand the importance of the youth academy and what it brings. And it's Manchester United is not just about Premier League. There's a whole rich history of where it all began, and this is one of those pieces of history that we need to remember and keep remembering. And
definitely.
we need to support them. Yeah.
Even in the women, the women won it this year. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's daughter won the cup this year as well in the youth. So the women are doing very well as well. So, it's not just the boys that are going well at this club. This tradition of youth in Manchester United needs to keep on going. Look, players like Paul Scholes weren't even in that 92 squad. He was in the 93 squad that lost it against Leeds. It's funny. You actually look at the team. I've got the programs here, and you look at the squad from 92 and you look at the squad from 93, and you think to yourself, how did they lose to the Leeds in 93? And managed to win it in against Crystal Palace the year before. We all know Paul Scholes came into the first scene a little bit later, but then you got players like Zinedine Zidane that claims he's the best midfielder he's ever played against. So it's crazy to think how many world-class players we have in our club. And, it's funny enough, when you look back at our youth players and I look at the English-born players, and not many of them have gone on to win it. Well, hardly any of them have gone on to win a World Cup for England. Bobby Charlton was one of those players that went on to win a World Cup for.
Yeah. But then after that, he was the only one.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. So, it's amazing. So, anyway, we thought we'd throw this short video to you guys, and now we tried our best to put as much information out there about the history of United's youth and the upcoming class of 2022. I hope you enjoyed this short show, and remember to like, share, subscribe, give us a go, and we'll come back to you with a pre-game later on this
Brighton
week
preview,
against preview against Brighton. So cheers, Emad, for getting on with me this afternoon, and because this was something I really wanted to do, and I didn't want it to be long. I just wanted it to be short and sharp, and get everyone pumped up for Thursday.
Mate, I love coming back in the cave.
Yeah,
I'm finally back home.
It's nice.
I'm not on location anymore.
All right, mate. Well, I'll talk to you later and
All right, mate.
see you, buddy. Bye.